Welcome back to another edition of In the Hot Seat here, live at COTA. I'm Rob Tiongson, editor-in-chief of thepodiumfinish.net. You might remember this gentleman from last year. This is Nick Sanchez. He's no longer in the Truck Series. He has graduated to the NASCAR XFINITY Series with the number 48 Big Machine Racing team. And Nick, it's great to catch up with you again less than a year later. And before we get started, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, Nick, I know you not the first time you raced for the 48 team. You had a sample start in 2022. So compared to that cup of coffee you had in 2022 at a young age, what's it like to be back and know that this is your full-time ride?
Yeah, well, it's a lot different this year, right? You know, I have two previous years in the Truck Series as far as experience goes, so I'm a much more experienced driver, and I feel like I'm a lot more prepared for the opportunity. But yeah, the same excitement.
Absolutely. And I'm kind of curious. I know PK is now doing the full-time job over at the CW, but you get to pick his brains a little bit and be like, hey man, like, what do I do at COTA, or what can I do at Atlanta?
It wasn't necessarily picking his brain, but reading through his debriefs, right? I guess it's indirectly picking his brain. So yeah, he left this team in a great place and a lot of good notes and useful data to look over and prepare for this race.
Absolutely. Let's talk about shop about here in Austin, because I know you drivers don't get a lot of time here in Austin. It's a great marketplace for the fans in Austin. Nights, you don't get to see this stuff all the time like you do in North Carolina. For a driver's standpoint, in terms of relaxing and just kind of getting away from the racetrack, how does this place rate for you?
Yeah, well, look, I go to the racetrack to race, right, and that's the main reason I'm here. But I think, you know, Austin, I'm staying in South Congress, so great places to eat, great shopping, and great environment. So it's an awesome place to come, and I'm sure the fans say the same. And yeah, we're really excited to be here in Austin for race weekend.
We're excited to have you guys back because it's been a long time going, and hopefully the relationship continues on. Now, I know you got some time on the track yesterday, on Friday rather, with practicing qualifying the new section for the national layout. What are your thoughts about that compared to when you did the full layout last year in the Truck Series?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's a lot more of a high-paced racetrack right now, right? You take away the semi-long straightaway of 11 and the very long straightaway of 12, and you don't really have a lot of time to stop and think about your lap. You know, your car is the same way, right? You know, I feel like the car is delivering a lot more heat and maintaining a lot more heat from the shorter lap, and it's more of like a short track style run course. So I think that's awesome. I'm having fun. Good practice, not the qualifying we wanted, but I think we'll race just fine.
You're certainly letting it all ride out with us yesterday, but I know it's race day, anything can happen for sure. And you know, you've got a great crew chief in Patrick Donahue, who's got a lot of experience, worked with Jeff Gordon back in the old days, worked with PK. What's it like to work with him and kind of like learn from him and also have him learn from you?
Well, I don't know if he's learned from me, but you know, it's nice to have a very experienced veteran crew chief, Patrick Donahue. So I'm lucky to get to work with him, and it's going to be a fun year.
Absolutely. Now, we're at our first road course race of the year. I know there's going to be a couple more later on this year. I know every racetrack's a little different, but are there things that you can learn from here that can apply later on at, say, like Sonoma or, you know, the Roval later this year?
Yeah, for sure, right? I think these Xfinity cars, you know, I'm still learning the base of them, and I think what I learned here at COTA is going to translate to all the other ones.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the activation efforts you have so far as Big Machine Racing. You guys were not that far from me in Cedar Park the other day, which I thought was so cool because maybe someone who's just trying to get some wine in the afternoon all of a sudden sees you at the shop. You know, what's it like to go to different marketplaces, meet new fans that may not be fans of the racing series, and all of a sudden say, hey, I'm going to follow the 48 car now?
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, that's one of the unique things with this race team, right? The activation. You know, Big Machine Vodka, Spike Coolers, Bruschetta Bourbon. There's so many great brands, OTD, under this team, and I get to represent them, and it offers a lot of cool opportunities for me to go in and out of market and activate and, you know, get new fans for the team and the sport.
Now, have you talked to Scott Bruschetta of maybe having your own bourbon blend one day?
We haven't talked about that, but I'm sure hopefully if I get enough trophies, he'll let me do that.
Get the Nick Sanchez special going on, just the same. Now, I know racing's a grind. I know you go to the racetrack. It's all business. I get that. But there's got to be ways that you kind of decompress, relax, so you kind of remember, you know, I'm a human being too. What are some things that you do to relax?
You know, I think gaming is something recently that, you know, I'll bring a portable gaming device to the racetrack. Not to the racetrack, but, you know, to the hotel in my free time. And when I'm done studying, when I'm done looking on stuff for the weekend, I'll decompress gaming. So I think that's something that I'm getting into.
Oh yeah, what kind of games do you play?
Call of Duty, GTA, Madden. There's a lot of cool ones.
Ooh, GTA. You talking about like Vice City and all that?
No, the GTA 5, but I need to wait for Miami's GTA 6 to come out.
I know, we're all waiting for that one, but hey kids, don't try that at home yet. Now, what would your younger self be thinking about what you're doing right now when you were growing up in Florida, and all of a sudden here you are in the #2 NASCAR series and with one of the best teams around?
Yeah, I think I'm just having fun, right? Continuation of my childhood racing, right? You know, I did it back then because I love it. It's my passion, and it's fun for me. And that's why I do it now. So I'm just getting to live my dream.
For sure. Now, I got a couple more questions for you. Let's just say that I'm a new racing fan. I just tuned onto the CW, and I'm like, all right, I need a favorite driver. Give me 3 selling points as to why Nick Sanchez would be my favorite driver.
Well, look, that's not really for me to decide, but I like to think, I think myself as a driver, I leave it all on the racetrack, right? You know, if I start in the back, I'm going to try to drive to the front. I'm aggressive, take risks, and yeah, put my life into it, so I'm all in.
Absolutely. My last question for you, this is going to be putting you really in the hot seat. If someone came up to you and says, we want to do a Nick Sanchez movie on Amazon Prime or in the movie theaters, which actor would you pick to play you and why?
Jake Gyllenhaal. He's just a hell of an actor. He's a hell of an actor.
Hell of an actor. He's your doppelganger.
I don't know about that. I don't know if there's any comparisons. I don't have a beard. I mean, I guess we have the same hair color. He's
Yeah.
probably a little bit taller, but yeah, he's just a good actor.
Well,
Don't mind that.
when you get to be a little bit below, near 40, you'll probably have a beard.
I don't know about that.
But, do you have any words, any shout outs you want to give to your fans?
No, just enjoy the race today. We're gonna have fun.
Absolutely. Well, that was Nick Sanchez here in the hot seat for the podium finish. Check him out, and we'll have more stories coming up.